Shubhodaya and a very warm welcome, everyone. I am Manu Kashyap from Advaita Academy. Let us start with a prayer. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Sutra Bhashya Pranetaro Vedantabja Prabhakaro Vande Parasparatmanau Badarayana Shankaro. Today is day 2 of Weekend with Wisdom with Swami Tattvarupananda Saraswati ji. I welcome you, Swamiji. Swamiji will be speaking about Karya-Karana-Vada, the methodology of cause and effect. Swamiji spoke about it yesterday also. And viewers, if you have any questions, please post it in Q&A box. Swamiji will be taking up those questions towards the end of the session. Swamiji, please start your session.
सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तः पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। Namaste to everybody. Yesterday we were looking into the beginning of the Mundaka Upanishad, and we said the Shaunaka approaching his teacher Angiras, he asked the question, by knowing which, how can I come to know everything? This is the Karya Karana Vada. Once you know the Karanam, you come to know the Karyam as well. Now, when I analyze, I can intellectually appreciate that Karanam alone, the cause alone, manifest in the form of this universe. The different name and form which we can see in this universe, all those names and forms, nothing but that cause. Because once I remove the cause from the effect, nothing will be left out. But what is the difference between cause and the effect? The cause doesn't have any name and form, but effect has got the name and form. This knowledge, to appreciate this, we don't need to have a super intellect. A normal intelligence is enough. samanya buddhi, not very evolved, super intellectual capacity is not necessary. But if I want to really get the benefit out of this inquiry, I really appreciate that. If I am not able to appreciate that this world is temporarily exist. Now it is there. After some time, it's disappear, whether you like it or not. Adau ante chayannasti vartamanepi tatthatha. Nicely, Gaudapada said, in the beginning, in the end, what is not there, in between also, it is really not there. It appears as though it is there. When we live in the world, we are more attached towards this appearance. Here is the one of the important quality a sadhaka, a spiritual aspirant, should develop. If you have that quality, that virtues called vairagya, vairagya means dispassion. Generally, this word dispassion, people sometimes misunderstand this word dispassion. Dispassion is not hating the world. Really meaning the dispassion is, even though in the beginning we may get the meaning, we may think this dispassion means I want to avoid everything. I want to get rid of everything. I want to give up everything. Even sannyasa means what? Giving up. Samyak nyasa. Complete giving up. When you say complete giving up, total giving up means what? It's only, really speaking, whatever reality I give to this world which I am experiencing presently, that reality which I give to the world is not really real. It is not Satya. The reality which I give to the world due to my ignorance about the world. Once I have the right understanding about the world will not really troubles you. Nowadays, we may think, oh, world is so horrible. It is not world horrible. What you expect from the world, if you have the wrong expectation, therefore you think world is horrible. It is not that world has to make me happy. I need to discover the happiness within me. This is the whole spiritual journey. Even though we begin with the depending upon the world is going to make me happy, world give me this and that. I expect from the people will make me happy. Certain situation will bring me happy. So finally, I realized that it is not the people, situation, and thing is going to make me happy. It is my frame of mind when I am in a situation, when I am in contact with certain object or certain people. If my frame of mind is conducive and appropriate, if it is calm and quiet, I experience a happy situation. The same people and thing and the situation, the outside will be safe. It is not any change in the outside. But if my mind is not calm and quiet, mind is agitated, I feel some discomfort in the world. Therefore, to discover that, this is called the in the whole Vedantic sadhana. To understand that the world is mithya. Mithya means it's not satyam. Yesterday we have seen the karyam is anityam and asatyam. It is not going, anitya means it is not eternal. It is not going to be there all the time. It is temporarily exists, therefore it is anitya. Asatya means it doesn't have the reality. When I say this is a lamp, the lamp, it has got a purpose. Arthakriya. It has got a purpose. Because of the purpose, we give some certain reality to the lamp. If you have the lamp, you can light the lamp and you will be able to get the light. It has got a purpose. But because our mind is completely attached to this purpose and this name and form, we think this world is real. When we say this world, please, we have to make sure that when I say world, my body also is a part of the world. Any object is come under the title as Jagat. In Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, Bhagavan Krishna says, Kshetram Kshetrajnaha. The Kshetram is an object, Kshetrajna is the subject. When he starts with the Kshetram, he starts from the idam shariram kaunteya kshetramitya bhidhiyate. Etadyo vettitam prahuhu kshetrajna iti tadvidaha. Beautifully explained. Without there is no doubt, very clearly. Idam shariram, the sharira, that body which I am experiencing, which I have right now, even though I am referring this body as I, Krishna says this body is a kshetra, it is an object, it is a karyam, it is a product. Therefore, since it is a product, it is anityam. It is not going to be here forever. It doesn't have any reality. It has got the temporary reality. Therefore, since I got this body, I can use this body to achieve certain goal in my life. Especially when we talk about the human life. Human life is considered to be one of the precious life in the universe. Jantunam janad nara janma durlabham. Among the living beings, the human birth is considered to be one of the rarest things. Why? Because we have a choice. Even though everything is not determined in our life. It is not, we are not living like an instinct, like an animal. Animal doesn't have much choice, but we have many, many choices. This choice really gives me a lot of freedom. I can decide what I want in my life. Once I really keep my goal, then I can work for it. I can take the help from the people who know, and I can also use my own willpower, and I can go towards my goal. I can work towards my goal. This freedom, I have the choice. The choice means what? Wherever I have, I can do, I need not do, I can do it differently. These three possibilities, wherever I have, I am a free person. In Sanskrit, we say kartum shakyam, akartum shakyam, anyatha va kartum shakyam. I can do it, I need not do it, I can do it differently. These three choices, wherever I have these three possibilities, I can really, I am the responsible person. I have the responsibility because I'm using my free will. Whatever with that I am doing, there also I have a feeling that I am the karta, I am the doer. Whatever action I'm doing, the result will come to me. Now, when we talk about the vairagya, the dispassion, a person can really examine, even the Mundaka Upanishad itself says, Parikshya lokan karmachito brahmanaha nirvedamayat nasti akritaha kritena. Akritaha brahma kritena karmana na labhyate ityartaha. The Brahma or reality, you need not achieve, you need not obtain by your action. It is already available, already there. You know, when you see the lamp, after seeing the lamp, you cannot ask the question when I can see the clay. While seeing the lamp, if you want to see the lamp, you are seeing clay also. Your lamp and clay, this is the clay lamp. Both are there, present here. Then this slowly a person should able to appreciate that reality alone is exist in the whole universe. Not in the beginning yet. But when a person do the vichara, a right vichara, all the karma what we are doing, it's meant to make our mind a mature, get the maturity. Maturity means what? Appreciate the world as world. Don't give the more than what it requires. Sometimes what? We give the more value than what they require. The world has got a certain reality. It is coming and going. When I say this world is going to be here forever, that is the wrong, I have wrong understanding about the world. The right understanding means it's coming and going. Everything is just like a river. Every time when you see the world, it's a new world. Even though you may not be noticing the changes which is there, which are taking place in the world, If anybody want to notice the change, we have to see our own family album. When we see our own family album, we have to say, oh, this was I am, this is my picture. When you are in 3 years old, now what is your age? You are 50 years old. 47 years back, there is no similarity at all. The change, so much change has taken place. Well, the same manner, in the whole world, it's a changing, continuously changing, fluctuating. Every moment it is changing. The changing world, if I expect it should not change, that is the wrong expectation. When I accept the world as it is a changing, it will undergo certain change. With that, when I deal with the world will not really troubles you. Then your mind will have more calmness and quiet, the quietude of the mind. With that mind, once I really look into the scriptures, when I really look into this cause-effect methodology, it will be a really enlightening moment, awakening moment, if there is an awakening. You awaken to the reality, this cause alone is there everywhere. In and through the world is nothing other than this reality called the Brahman. And beautifully, Shankaracharya, in his Brahma Sutra Bhashya, says, Asya jagataha namarubhabhyam vyakritasya aneka kartru bhokta samyuktasya pratiniyata desha kala nimitta kriya phalashrayasya manasabi achintya rupa ratnasya manasabi achintya rachana rupasya janmastiti bhangam yataha sarvajna sarvashaktehe karanat bhavati tat brahma. The Brahman, what is the Brahman? Jagataha karanam. It is the cause for this Jagat, the universe. When we say Jagat, the entire universe, whatever you can objectify, everything will come under the head as a Jagat. Anything has got anything has born, anything is dying, it will come under the head of the Jagat. Janma, utpatti, sthiti, laya. Utpatti, it coming, it stays, and it goes back. Janma, sthiti, laya. Janma, sthiti, bhangam. Bhangam means laya. Laya means nasha. From where Jagata, Yataha Sarvajnat, that Brahman is Sarvajnaha. How do you know Sarvajnaha? Gatakarta Gatajnaha. One who makes the Gata, he knows Gata. Patakarta Patajnaha. One who makes the mat, he knows about the mat. Matakarta Matajnaha. One who makes the house, he knows about the house. The one who makes everything, he knows everything. Sarvasya karta sarvajnaha. One who makes everything, he knows everything. Therefore, the Brahman, which we are talking here, as a cause for this universe, is the Sarvajna. Whatever he makes, he knows that. The Sarvajna Brahma, is it different from me? There is a question. Oh, Brahman. We may think, oh, Brahman, somewhere Most of the time we look up. This is we got it from somewhere else, not from here. Some people bring this looking up this culture. Because our culture is what we know that everywhere, where is God? This question you cannot ask in India. Especially, you cannot ask to any Indian. We may think I am Indian, but we are with the Indian body, but Western mind, Western education has influenced our thinking. Therefore, to come to our own culture, to come to this Vedic, the Sanatana Dharma, even when you go to a village, ask a villager, where is the God? He will look you are top to down, because he think, where are you from? Even you ask them, they know God is everywhere. He may not be able to explain why God is everywhere. What is the reason? He may not be able to understand the logic, all the logic behind it. But he can appreciate that everything what is here is God. Because the God, when you say Brahman, when you come to the Vedanta, we call as a Brahman. When you go to the religion, same Brahman as called as a Ishvara. The Ishvara created world means, yesterday we say Ishvara is not really created the world. Ishvara manifests in the form of the world. Ishvara himself, just like when you make an ornament, a bangle or chain out of gold, the gold is there. The gold now is manifest in the form of chain. Earlier, before making the chain, it was a bar of gold, just a small bar. Then when you melt it, according to your desire, you turn into a different ornament. The ornament, when it comes, when you see the ornament, you are also seeing the gold. The essence of the ornament is nothing but gold. Without gold, ornament cannot exist. In the same manner, without Ishvara, world cannot exist, because Ishvara is the cause. Here, Brahman is the cause. Ishvara and Brahman, I am using, is a same sense. Understand? Even though sometimes in Vedanta, Ishvara is one step below the Brahman. But in this discussion, the Ishvara and Brahman in the same sense I'm using. When you are a religious person, you call as a Ishvara. When you are a little Vedanti, you call as a Brahma. That's why he said, Sarvajna Sarvashaktehe, one who makes everything. He has all power. He is the powerful. His Shakti, his power we cannot limit. He has the capacity to make everything simultaneous. So kamayata bahusyam pracharyeta. Just a thought is tapasa chiyate brahma tatonnama vijayate. A tapas means jnanamayan tapasa. He just visualized. And what he visualized? He visualized previous creation. In that creation, the pranis means jivas, the individual, different individual, what all the karmas, what all the action, meritorious action, demeritorial action, the punya and papa, whatever they have done, that has got a result according to, in keeping with the karma, he gave the appropriate sharira, the body, instrument to each individual. That's a pratiniyada, kriya palashraya. Kriya palashraya. Can you imagine the whole universe? We are really suffering to really maintain one house. What all happening in our house, we are not completely aware of it. What is going on wife mind, what is going on husband mind, both are not knowing. Both husband and wife doesn't know what is going on in the children's mind. We are not able to understand each other. But here, the Ishvara, he is the one who is knowing everything. Nothing is out of his mind. If I do something, it's already noticed. If I perform an action, the phala will come to me alone. It's also very important things to understand when we think about when we analyze about the cause and effect. Cause and effect is not just understanding that Brahman is the cause, world is the effect, therefore Brahman will be everywhere in the effect. Brahman will be everywhere in the Jagat, in the universe. Okay, that's our understanding. In the same manner, whatever I do perform now, when I say whatever I perform now means the manasa, vacha, karmana, through my what all thoughts is coming, what all the words I am speaking, and what all the action I am doing. The mental action, verbal, and the physical. The three level, whatever is going on, it's an action, therefore it will have a result. Every action will have result. So sometimes we surprise, something unexpected is happening. People ask this question, why good people are suffering? Not good people are enjoying their life. No. Sometimes people think this is a very intelligent question. It's a very difficult question to answer. Very simple. When you understand the law of karma, I may not be performed this action in this life. In this very life, I may be very dharmic person, very sattvic person, very good person. I'm ready to help everybody. But some other life, I must have done some horrible action. Those results I am not yet reaped. Now it is manifesting. Therefore, an intelligent person never asks the question, why it is coming to me? Why am I suffering like this? Every effect has got a cause. Without effect, without cause, effect cannot exist. But anything is happening in our day-to-day life, I am the responsible person. Don't try to blame anybody. The moment you try to blame somebody, your attitude is, I am very holy person. These people are horrible. That this logic will not, this philosophy will not work in the spiritual field. When I enter into the spiritual life, I take the full responsibility into myself, into my own shoulder. Yes, I am responsible for it. I don't want to blame anybody. I have to undergo this certain experience. Every experience make me wiser. I am ready to learn from every experience. Once I have that frame of mind that I am the responsible, whatever things are occurring in my life, that I am the responsible, then I need not worry about others. I have my own responsibility. Better to look into our own responsibility and try to fulfill it. This is the one. But once you have this frame of mind, it's called in a way vairagya. Vairagya means you are not looking into others' business. We have our own business here. We have our own certain things, our own kartavya, what I need to do, what is my duty, try to perform that. Once you have that frame of mind, this is one of the important quality a spiritual aspirant should develop. We are not here to argue with others, which is the right, which is the wrong. Shastra is there to help us. That's why we given the name as Shastra. Shasanat trayate iti Shastra. It will advise in the beginning, and finally it save you from the samsara. Samsara means our own life experience every day is going up and down. The attachment which we have towards the object and people and situation, the attachment to, then when the attachment comes, naturally there will be something happen to that object or situation or people, it will affect me. Then sorrow, when sorrow is there, our intellect will not work properly. That's called moha. Therefore, this raga, shoka, moha, when I am in this raga, shoka, moha, I will not be able to help myself. Slowly, I want to get out of this trip. This is the one of the important things, the vairagya. Vairagya you can have based upon your knowledge. So it's not you are working only for the vairagya, other things also will come into you. It's just like in the Vedanta, they talk about as a nyaya, something like that, when you want to pull a cart, you catch hold of one leg and drag. Other three legs will be following in the same manner. Whichever quality you need to really develop, focus upon that and work upon it, and slowly other quality will be following you. No doubt about it. Therefore, it is important to really develop this quality before I inquire into the reality. Otherwise, what will happen? You know all the theory, all the methodology, you can speak it very clearly, but inside you, there is no connection. Whatever you are talking and whatever you are, whatever you have feeling about yourself, there is no connection. Your knowledge and your life, there is no connection. If I want to bring that connection, I need to look into my own life, and wherever I need to bring a change, I put a necessary effort and bring those changes, bring those whatever qualities. And when I go ahead, it will become very, very, very nice spiritual journey. Now, so this is what I said yesterday, that quality which you need to develop. Also, end of the yesterday's talk, he said in the Bhagavad Gita, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upatekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. There also that frame of mind, it really talked about a sadhaka, a spiritual aspirant mind. The readiness, I'm ready to do anything because I value this knowledge so much. If you think I know everything, there is nobody better than me. No. In the Chandogya Upanishad, in the 6th chapter, there is a beautiful dialogue between the father and son. The Shetaketu, at the age of 12, he went to the Gurukulam and he stayed with his master 12 years. When he became 24, he came to the home. When he came to home, the Upanishad says very well, he says, Anuchanamanihi stabdaha eyaya. Mahamanaha anuchanamani stabdaha eyaya. He thought himself very great. I am a great scholar. Anuchanamaya. Whatever I need to study, I have studied 12 years. Sarvan Vedan Aditya. All the Veda he studied. When you say Sarvan Vedan Aditya, here Sarvan Vedan means only the Karma Kanda portion. Veda you can divide into 4. The first section is called Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, and last section is called Upanishad or the Vedanta. When we say the Sarvan Veda and Aditya, they studied only Karma Kanda section. Because Jnana Kanda, if you want to learn, you have to ask for it. Just like a Shaunaka, Shaunakohamay Mahashalaha Vidivadupasannam Papracha. Shaunaka was a great Karmada. Karmada means he was a Karma Kandi. He was a very dharmic person. As a Grihastha, what all the duties he has to perform, everything he was performing very meticulously. When you perform meticulously, you will, one day there will be a question, I am doing this so long, what else I need to gain in this life? That's why Shaunaka came to Angiras. He also asked the question, I'm wealthy materially, I have everything. I am also doing dhana to the people, Mahashala, Mahayajnashala, Mahapakashala, Mahapadashala, all these things you can ask Shala. Shaunaka was doing everything. He has a Yajnashala, he has a Padashala, he also had the Pakashala. Distributing the food. He was a very dharmic person. Just being a dharmic is not enough. You have to be a dharmic. And along with that, because dharmic life will give you a qualification. That is a qualification to enter into the spiritual inquiry. Once you enter into the spirituality, then you will understand, Nasti Agrita Kritena, if I want to really know the truth, the karma, the action will not be held. The Viveka Chudamani, Acharya Swami, Shankaracharya Swami were very Very clearly he explained, Chittasya shuddhaye karma, natu vastupalabdhaye, vastu siddhi vicharena nakinchit karma kodi. All the action, whatever in the name of the meditation, whatever action we are doing, maybe the mental activity, the verbal activity, chanting some stotra or even chanting the Vedic mantras, and doing some activity with your body, doing some puja. All these activities is meant for chittasya shuddha. My mind should be calm and quiet. My mind should be available for this inquiry. When I want to bring my mind should not go here and there. Mind should be within my hand. Mind should be my servant. My mind should serve me. Not I should listen to my mind. Mind is a good servant but bad master. We have a choice whether I want to make my mind as a servant or a master. It all depends upon how you are conducting your life. But all the karmas is meant for the purification of the mind. Vastu. Vastu means Brahman here. The meaning of the Vastu. Another word for Satyam is the Vastu. Whatever it is, the thing which is here, it's only that Brahman. Vastu Siddhi. If you want to accomplish, if you want to know the reality, the truth, only by vichara, inquiry. When we say inquiry means, here also very important, inquiry should be done with the help of the Guru and Shastra. The Shastra always go along with the teacher, the Guru. Guru has got the key to open the secret messages which is hidden in the Shastra. When a student, a Shishya is ready, the teacher will open to him. He has the key. The key is called the Sampradaya. That's why Acharya Swami, Shankaracharya Swami, when he was writing the Bhashya, Acharya Swami said, Asampradaya with murkhavat upekshaniya. A sampradaya means a parampara, how this knowledge is handed over. From teacher to student, till now, if I am talking to you, if you are listening to me, the sampradaya is still going on without any break. Like a Ganga, it's flowing, Jnana Ganga is flowing ever since. When it began, we don't know. Brahma Devanam Prathamas Sambhabuva the whole is the parampara is taught in the different Upanishad. The parampara is still going on, till now is going on. So here when we talk about this Vedanta study, the inquiry has to be done with the help of a teacher. If I do inquiry without the help of the teacher, I may have a lot of doubt, because I can gain a knowledge based upon whatever knowledge I have. If I commit a mistake, if I understand wrongly, who is going to be the loser? I will be the loser. Therefore, an intelligent person better to go to a teacher, even in the material knowledge. No, if you want to study mathematics, advanced mathematics, if you want to study, just like a calculus, certain, if you want to study, you go to a person who knows that subject, that that subject matter very well. He knows how to introduce according to your capacity, according to your level. He can really introduce this knowledge. Once you expose to this knowledge, once you know the sampradaya, it's not you have to always with the sampradaya, you have to always be a shishya. Once you know it, then you can hand over this knowledge to next generation. Like that, it is unbrokenly come till now, this knowledge. This knowledge, that's why when you are ready, the vichara has to be done. Once you qualify yourself by doing all the necessary duties, then you have to do this vichara. If you are not doing it, you are not cleared your whole what is to be not, you are not yet put full effort. If you are not doing in this life, you have to do in the next life. You have to come again. Do you want to come again? It's all depends upon your choice. Some people say, oh, this is very wonderful place, I want to come again. Some people say, this is enough for me, I don't want to come anymore, I want to finish here and here itself. It's all depends upon the person's wish, desire. If you want to come back, come back. If you don't want to come back, then there is no choice. You have to know the reality. You have to know that what I am looking, the reality is not different from me. Even though we may begin with it, I want to know Brahman, but end of our journey is I am Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. What I am looking for is I am. Why? Because when you say the Brahman is Satya, let's take this one word. Brahman is Satya. The cause is truth. What is truth? The truth means you cannot negate abhatitam satyam. Satyam is not subject to any kind of negation. You cannot negate. You cannot say this is not. Actually, when I live in this at present time, now my experience, yesterday we have seen Satyam is eternal, Nityam. Nityam means, if you remember, I said that which is not within time and space. The time and space also is a thing in the creation. The Satyam is not within this time-space framework. That's why that reality has got another name name they have given as a Purana. Pura api navaha. Even though it is old, still it has got its freshness. Nava. That Purana, that awareness which is beyond the space and time. When you say beyond the time and space, what does it mean? Don't look up. What is beyond? Beyond means this much only. I am the one who is aware of time and space. Therefore, since I am the one who is aware of time and space, I am not within the time and space. Because once I am aware of, the time and space become an object, I become the subject who is aware. That awareness is I am. Even when you talk about the Brahman also the same awareness. When we say I am that awareness, don't think about this body, mind, sense complex. The body, mind, sense complex is within the framework of the time and space. It has got a birthday, therefore it will have a death day. It's inevitable. We cannot escape from that. That's why when we pray for Asatoma Sadgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya, may you lead me from mortality to immortality. Meaning is when I think I am this body, mind, sense complex, I am still in the mortal jiva. I have to die. That means when you say the lead me from mortality to immortality means, oh Lord, make me understand that I am not this body, mind, sense complex. I am the eternal awareness which is available right now. To know that awareness, we need not go anywhere. It is right now available. The cause of the universe is right now available here and now. That's why the Upanishads say, Ikachet aveti, mahati, ata satyamasti, nachedihaveti mahati vinashtihi. If I come to know that truth here and now, while living in this body, I mean, in this body at this given time, I'm staying in this, I am available here. Ihatet avetit, if you come to know, ata satyamasti, you have fulfilled. There is nothing more to do. That's all. You finish your whole karma bundle. Everything is burned. Jnanagni sarva karmana bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. Jnana. This knowledge is like a fire. It just burns your all the bundle of your sanchita, accumulated action. Prarabdha, even though you have to undergo, still prarabdha, there is no connection. You know, you are not this body, therefore body is experiencing this prarabdha, not the me, the jiva, not the me, the real consciousness. Then sanchita, prarabdha, sanchita also, prarabdha, agami also will disappear. All the karma, the moment all the karma is gone, this is called the real liberation. The mukti. This is possible here. If you miss it, if you miss the infinite, lost is infinite. Since a human being, when we come here, we have this capacity for that. To use that intellectual capacity, we have a sampradaya, we have a teacher. Better to approach a teacher and get the clarity. It is not a one-day process. It all depends upon the person. How long should I study? Swamiji, I understood this cause and effect. I know that cause is there in and through effect. Effect cannot exist without the cause. Effect is depending upon the cause, but cause is not depending upon the effect. Therefore, effect is dependent, cause is independent. All these things I understood very clearly, but this but is the problem. The but means we are not really understood this knowledge. We are not really appreciate this teaching. The cause, when we say the cause, is here and now. I am the cause. One of the Upanishads very beautifully says, after teaching the entire Vedanta Upanishad, the Shishya proclaimed to the Guru, now I understood that Mayyeva Sakalam Jatam, Mai Sarvam Pratishtitam, Mai Sarvam Layam Yati, Tad Brahmadvayam Asmyaham. Mayyeva Sakalam Jatam. Everything is born in me, the awareness. Everything has got their existence in me, the awareness. Mayyeva Sakalam Jatam. Mai Sarvam Pratishtitam. Everything stays in me. Everything is depending upon me. I am not depending upon them. My sarvam layam yati. Everything dissolved into me. Everything finally come to me. It coming from me, it stays in me, it goes back to me. In the same manner, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, yato va imani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat prayandhyabhisam vishanti iti. Taittiriya. Later, the Mayyeva, it is from the Kaivalya Upanishad. For all the Upanishad reveals the self-knowledge. Self is I, the knowledge about me. So I am the cause. For final understanding of this cause-effect methodology, I, the awareness, really speaking, neither cause nor effect. I am. Just like when you go to the seashore, you can see the waves and ocean. The ocean is endless. It's an endless ocean. Endless means you cannot see the other shore. That's why ocean. The many waves are there. Many, many waves. When you see the waves, you can talk about the different types of waves. Tsunami wave, breaker, a small wave. Different types of waves are there. What is the connection between the wave and the ocean? We say all the wave is born in the ocean. Then imagine a wave is telling, our Lord is the ocean. If I want to know the reality, if I want to know the truth, because if a wave thinks I am a wave, it has got a fear of mortality, fear of death, because wave now born, after some time it subsides. It may travel for some time until it reaches the shore. The moment it slashed towards the shore, it disappeared. If a wave thinks I am a wave, the wave is afraid to see the shore. During this journey, the wave journey, the wave discovered that I am not the wave. In reality, I am the water. The moment the wave really get that knowledge that I am the water, what happened here? Everything disappeared. There is no cause, there is no ocean, there is no way, there is only there is water. In the same manner, when by inquiring, by vichara, a shishya come to know the reality, the shishya appreciate that same awareness only present everywhere. Nobody is outside this awareness. Awareness doesn't have any kind of size. You cannot talk about how big is awareness. It's infinite, it's eternal. These are eternal. No? Eternal means that which is not within space and time framework. Any size we can talk about when we talk about the space. Something which is beyond the space, there is the size. That's why in our Upanishad, that awareness, that cause for this entire universe, they're given another name as a Purna. It is Purna, it is whole. There is nothing outside of it. That cause is this entire, that cause only, that Purnam Brahman only manifest in this Jagat, the Virat Swarupa. Virat means in different names and forms it manifests. When it manifests, we may have some doubt. All these are Brahman, all these are that awareness. No doubt, yes. This, whenever there is a doubt, this is what we say, Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasan. First, we expose ourselves to the Shravana, this teaching of the Upanishad. Here, mainly teaching of the Upanishad is the Shravana. Paunah punyena Shravanam kuryat. You gain, you expose, whenever you get an opportunity, you expose yourself to listen to this Upanishad teaching. Why I expose? Because I always listen something based upon my knowledge, my background. I have a background. With that background, when I listen, automatically there will be a lot of questions will be arising in your mind. How can it be this? How can it be that? You know, when you say cause and effect, Brahman is the final cause. Which is the Brahman's cause? We say, because we can think only this cause-effect relationship. When we talk about the Brahman, there is no cause-effect relationship. There is only that reality. From the worldly standpoint, when you say, when you look a mango tree, there is a cause-effect relationship. But when we try to understand the ultimate truth, understand there is only that reality. There is nothing else. That's why we say Shanti Samruddham Amritam. There is a complete tranquility. There is no more question. There is no more doubt. You know, when doubt will be there, when there is two things are there. Fear will be there when there is two things are there. When we understand that there is no two things, there is only one, what to talk about? One means, this word one also is not good, because I have to use the word one when there is a two. If there is no two, there is no need to use one. I can count 1, 2, 3. If there is a 1, I can tell. If there is a 2, if there is no 2, there is no 1. That's why we say the whole. It's a Purna. It's a Pujya. Yeah, this we found out. Pujya. Pujya means adorable. It's holy. That is the Brahman. That cause is right now I am. But with this frame of, here also, Shetaketu went to this Gurukulam, he came back to home. The father found him very arrogant. Generally, when you study, you will become more humble. Vidya Vinaya. The Vidya and knowledge and humility should go together. If knowledge is giving you arrogance, there is something wrong in it. Because a person who knows, he knows how much I don't know. A person who knows little, he may think I know everything. Therefore, when Uddalaka saw that Shvetaketu is so arrogant, Uddalaka asked Shvetaketu, have you asked this question to your teachers? By hearing, you come to know everything. Yata somya, yeah. Yena ashrutam shrutam bhavati amatam matam avijñātam vijñātam iti. Kathannu bhagavan sab anu adeshaha bhavati iti. Actually, this question, the Uddalaka asked the question, by knowing which you come to know everything. This is also same. When you say, Yena ashrutam shrutam bhavati. Yena ashrutam shrutam bhavati. By hearing which, you also come to know what you not heard. Amatam matam bhavati. If you come to know something, you come to know everything. Amatam bhavatam. Avijñādam vijñādam. Avijñādam means not known, become known. Then Shvetaketu asked the question, is there something such wrong? He said, yes, this is the reality about the Brahman. Brahman is the cause of the universe. Once you come to know that cause, you can say, as though I know everything. The Uddalaka given the 3 examples there. The pot and clay, gold and chain, ornament. And he also given a 3rd example, an iron piece and a nail cutter, Naka Nikrintanam. Naka Nikrintanam means nail cutter. At that time also nail cutter was there, Upanishadic period. Then once you know the cause, the mrit, the clay, you come to know what all born out of clay. This is the cause, this is the methodology. You can use it and you will be able to appreciate this truth. Finally, we have to understand the cause is I am. Here also say Tattvam Asi, Tat, that primordial, the root cause of this universe, Tat, Tvam Asi, you are. By this inquiry, a person will be able to appreciate this Mahavakya. Mahavakya means wherever there is identity between the individual, and the total. When this equation, wherever is talked about it, that sentence is called the Mahavakya. Tattvamasi is the very famous Mahavakya, which is occurring in the Chandogya Upanishad, the 6th chapter, especially in this dialogue between Shvetaketu and Uddalaka. Hopefully, you must have got some idea about it. I talked mainly from the standpoint of the how you can use it in your day-to-day life and get this knowledge used in your daily life. Hopefully, you get it. Namaste. Om.
Swamiji, it was a great session. It was wonderful. Viewers, if you have any questions, it is the time to ask. Swamiji will take up. Swamiji, we have received one question.
Oh.
When prarabdha is exhausted, the death occurs. The cause of death is in fact the part of causation chain of the karma law. The cause of death is not a failure of an organ. What
Yeah.
can you tell us about the near-death experience from the karma, merit, and cause-effect law?
That, the near-death experience also, that is the cause. We may think there is no this also, just like an accident, understand, near-death experience. Nowadays, a lot of books are coming and all those things. They talk about some kind of chamber and getting out and you're coming instantaneously. You have a choice whether you want to come or not. All the story they talk about, but from the standpoint of Vedanta karma theory, that type of karma is there, understand, to give up and certain moment my body, the time came, therefore it doesn't matter. Your organ, maybe heart may be working perfectly, your liver is very, 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 very sound health, every organ is very perfect, suddenly goes. I know I think I can share this experience. I was living with one Bhagavata Acharya. He was a great, he was 70 or 75 years old. Still his whole hair was black. People think he's dying or something, but he has a very black hair. And he also proud about it. Look, I am the real sadhaka, not even one single of hair is gray mine. This person thought he will be living forever. One day he performed a Bhagavata Yajna and he was coming back. The direct collision with a vehicle on the spot disappeared. But this seems to be his whole body, whole organ, everything was perfectly working. He was 80 at that time. At the age of 80, he had a very sound health and everything. But the nature has got its own law, which we don't know. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita, they say, Gahana Karmano Gatihi. That's the only things we can talk about such things. Okay.
Yeah. And also, we have a question from Facebook. Can you also explain Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya?
Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Take about this itself. Understand? The Brahma and Jagat. Here, Brahma referred to the clay. Jagat referred to the lamp. This is a lamp. Understand? It's a lamp. Then we say, with reference to here, we say the clay is truth, the lamp is mithya. Mithya means not totally non-existent. It is there, but it doesn't have a independent reality. That is the meaning of the mithya. That which doesn't have independent reality, that is called the mithya. This lamp doesn't have the independent reality. Lamp exists depending upon the clay. In the same manner, the Brahman is there everywhere, just like a clay is everywhere in the lamp. Brahman is there because since Brahman is the cause cause should be everywhere in the effect. That's one rule. Therefore, the Jagat is just like a lamp. Understand? Lamp has got a born date. It has got a death date also. So, lamp is mithya, clay is satyam. Jagat is satyam. Jagat is mithya, and Brahman is satyam. I hope you understood this. Remember the pot and clay. Once you understand the pot and clay, the clay is the Brahman, pot is the Jagat. The pot can disappear, the clay never can disappear. It will be there. Yeah.
Yes, Swamiji. Nitinji, if you have any questions, we can take it up. Otherwise, we do not have any further questions.
Are there no questions?
No, sir. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They all enlightened, no problem.
Thank you, Swamiji. It was a wonderful 2-day session. The importance of the topic cannot be stressed. And it was personally very learning session for me as well.
Okay. Thank you. I enjoyed my time with you. And thank you to be here.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Okay.
Yeah.
We conclude with a small prayer.
Yeah. Thank you, Swamiji, for these wonderful sessions. From the entire team of Advaita Academy, we are very grateful and thankful for you for agreeing and to have come on our platform and have taken these sessions.
Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Oh, thank you.